for Skyrim, we kind of we redid the werewolves. I'm sure you've heard about it online. Like
Yeah.
that was going in a really south direction. It was bad. I mean, it was really bad, and a lot of people were like, "Oh man, this is bad." It was, it was kind of it was basically like the Khajiit, where you just had a head of a dog on a person, on a human body, with human hands and everything, and it was just like, this is terrible, you know, because you hear werewolf, that's not what you want to see,
No, no, for
and
sure.
then there was a lot of things to it that didn't make sense. Oh, well, a Khajiit can walk around, or an Argonian can walk around, and nobody reacts. But the moment you have the head of a dog, everybody loses their shit and
Mm.
tries to kill you. Like it just none of that made any sense. So it would make more sense if you're a monster, you know. So I remember going in there and talking to one of my best friends, um, Jeremy. He's an animator, Jeremy Bryant, and I was like, we were both talking about the world constantly, and we were like, nobody was happy with it, and it was about to be cut, and we were just kind of like, we need to do something. We need to save the werewolf because we both understood how cool it was, and this, it was, and I was very inspired at the time by what's that vampire versus werewolves movie?
Ah,
Uh,
I know what you're talking about,
with
but
Kate
yeah.
Kate Beckinsale, I think her name is.
Yeah, yeah, I know the one you're
Oh,
talking about. I can't think of the name offhand.
but it's at the tip of my tongue. But anyway, so and I liked early on. I liked those movies. They're just fun, So I enjoyed that kind of stuff and these big brute animals. So basically, I created a big brute animal werewolf, and Jeremy and I worked on like bringing this thing together in the game and kind of squeezing it in there. And we did it just me and him. We'd stay nights, we all sorts of stuff to get it to where we had a playable a demo. And so I remember we kept it really, really down low. And finally, I had a pretty good relationship with Todd. I'd be in there sometimes. Just talking bullshit or whatever. And so one day I'm like, hey, I go into his office and he's there, doing whatever it is he was doing. And it's like, dude, you got to come. He's like, no, I can't right now. It's like, dude, come on, you got to come check this out. He's like, all right, fine. So he comes over and we literally just started the game up, gave him the controller, gave him a few instructions on the werewolf, and the werewolf goes, he transforms. Something that all of us people told us constantly we couldn't do all these. It was frustrating to be honest with you, and I know it was good intentions because the truth is everything you add just brings a whole load of problems. So I totally get it now. Back then, I used to steamroll past all of that, so I burned a few bridges along the
Yeah.
way, but it was like I was very passionate about it. It was very important to me, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep pushing this. So I didn't go through my leads. I didn't go through producers. I went straight to Todd, and he came and he looked at it and he was like, "This is fucking awesome. This has to go in." It's like, and people were like, there was other people there that were like, "Well, we're gonna have these problems." He would just cut everybody else. He's like, "No, this is going in."
Wow.
And so he's over there. He's backhanding monsters and clawing things up, and like we had a relatively polished, thing there. And I think that made a good impression also, not instead of just talking about it or showing a static T-pose model. And the werewolf I had bored it really far along, so it was already very well textured and detailed, and had this strong anatomy. You could run on all fours, all sorts of stuff. And so um, it was in my mind. I wanted it to be very much like a power trip. I wasn't thinking about game balance like that. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about like, man, you know, in the movies, you see everybody run from the werewolves, and werewolves like just trash everybody. And it's like it takes a super crazy epic superhero to stop the werewolves. And I'm like, why can't the player have that experience?
Yeah.
I don't care about the monster. It should be, you're getting chased by monsters and dragons and all sorts of stuff all the time in Skyrim. But the moment you're turning into a werewolf, my view was like, you're the monster. Everything is afraid of you. You know what I
Mm.
mean? You get a chance to play that part out and run away and run after things and just in your head kind of role play that whole, kind of like a, power dynamic of a big brute creature that you can turn into. So, and then as it went along, we teamed up with other people that helped us kind of come up with ways to try to balance it out a little bit more, but we definitely tried to keep it feeling like an absolute, power fantasy. Um, and yeah, that's how we got that one in.